Hello, this is Ingvar Johannesson, FIDE master from Iceland, also known as Sibit. And I played a game on chess.com that I was moderately happy with. Played a nice attack in the London system, and I would like to have a look at this game. So I had the white pieces, and the opening was rather innocent, as can happen in the London system. And actually, hardcore proponents of the London, they will probably go bishop f4 here instead of knight f3, and even here they will go c3. Can't remember the exact specifics for that, but it has to do with some queen b6 lines. Actually happened in this game. He played queen b6, and here queen c1 is a bit, well, it's more aggressive when you have the pawn on c5 for black. Then queen c1 is not well placed because of some quick knight c6 ideas. Usually this is with the bishop on f5, so knight c6, rook c8 when black already threatens to take, the white pawn will be on c3, so black would already threaten to take with the pawn on c5, maybe on d4, and then take with the knight, maybe. So maybe the queen is not well placed. I mean, it's not horrible, but these are some considerations. So queen c1 is probably playable here, but I just decided to play solid. I played b3, and after bishop f5 I played bishop d3. I think white will not have much of an advantage out of the opening, but it's obviously not the idea with playing the London, especially in blitz. It's just to get a comfortable position, usually positions that you know better than your opponent, but you know, sometimes maybe, I mean, sometimes people don't know what to do and you get a nice position. So anyway, c4 felt logical. Went to knight e4, and now queen c2. And this idea I sort of borrowed from reversed colors. As you can see, maybe black also has a London type setup, to be honest. So I want to play knight c3 when we have this annoying pressure of the white pieces on the e4 square, and is pinned to the bishop here on f5. So he would have to answer with knight f6, and maybe this is not a problem, but queen c2 seems like a useful move. Now he did not play the best move. He played f6. And this being a blitz game, I just went right on ahead with the plan of knight c3. But maybe knight h4 is a better move. Immediately attacking this bishop on f5, and he can't really retreat with it g6 because he just chop it off, then take on e4. So this is probably what I should have done, but g5 does initiate some complications that you're not necessarily looking for in a 3-minute game. So I just played knight c3. And he played aggressively here with g5. I have no choice, I have to play bishop g3. And now he played the very aggressive h5, trying to trap my bishop. Knight takes g3 seems more solid when I would have taken back. I have to take back, can't take on f5 because knight takes and I have lost a piece. So, oops. Knight takes d3, takes d3, and queen takes d3. I think white is slightly better here. Not much, but we can try and play e4. Blocking, you know, it's not 100% clear where it could find good shelter, especially after I open up with e4. So I think white might have a slight edge here, not much, but something to play for. Instead he went h5, really aggressive. I took on e4, and we took on e4. And now I played h4. And it looks as though my bishop is trapped. It has no squares, no diagonal. Everything is covered. Rook covers, queen covers, bishop covers, pawn. Well, not like that, but so everything is covered. What to do? Can't take on h4. That's covered. I could sacrifice with bishop takes f5, but I didn't think that was necessary, so I played c5. And my idea was to put the bishop on d6. For instance, if it goes queen to d8, which it didn't do, I can take on f5. He must take back, and now bishop d6. And after he takes, he can't really cover that pawn easily. He has to play queen a5 back. But here I have a number of good options. One of them being perhaps d5, sacking this pawn, and if he takes, I'm covering this great passer here, and can at some point play knight d4 and pick up this pawn here. And his king is weak. So maybe he found a better move here with queen a5. And here I have also the interesting move b4, which I didn't play. Now if it goes back to d8, we have the same line as before, but this time he takes. Now there's no queen a5 and this pawn will just drop off. You can't really play f4. I have queen g6, I have e takes f4 opening lines against this king, and that's going to be catastrophic. So yeah, he played queen a5, but here my original intention was bishop d6, but I decided to get more adventurous here, and I decided to sacrifice a piece here. I took on f5. Well, actually my original intention here was bishop d6, but like I said, I got more adventurous here and I took on f5, sacking the piece on g3, which he took. Probably has to, otherwise I give him a check and save the bishop. Just looking at it now, maybe he can castle queenside, but no, I'll just play b4 probably. Because the idea of castling queenside would be that I can't play bishop d6 because the pawn is pinned to my queen. But I would just interpose something like b4 when if he takes I can play bishop d6, and also maybe I can open up some lines against this king, and it looks very dangerous. Very dangerous indeed. So he took the piece. I gave him a check on e6. Of course I want the king to stay in the center since I sacrificed a whole piece. Usually you must get some compensation when you sack a piece, so I thought that I would have good enough compensation with this king in the center, and some possibilities of breaks with d5 maybe, for e5 maybe. I'm putting my rooks on the central files. Maybe f takes d3 in some lines when the rook could become active on the f file. Maybe some sacks on g5 or a5, etc. I think his best was here bishop e7, when I think I would have taken with the f pawn, opening up a line for my rook. Maybe introducing some ideas of knight takes g5 and rook f7. Probably doesn't work right away, but white definitely has compensation. We just count the pawns, already have 2 pawns for the piece, and a great queen. This king is kind of stuck, and this piece lack coordination, and I think always take white here. Instead he played king d8, which seems logical. I mean, you don't want to pin your bishop, have everything tied up, so probably he wants to play king c7 and try to get some kind of coordination. Here I just went for opening lines against this king. My idea is d5. And here he thought he'd deflect my queen with g4. Well, that's what I think he thinks. Maybe he didn't see I can take the pawn on g4 right away. But here I felt I didn't need to think about this knight on f3. I can just play d5, and that's what I did. Sacking another piece. And yeah, it's clear he can't take the piece right away. G takes f3, just g takes c6. And this threat here is just too strong. And I think it's like made in... it goes like here, I think it's like made in 6, and I think 4 of those moves are just spite checks. Giving a queen, rook check, rook sacrifice, and then sacrifice the queen for 1 check. 1 or 2 checks, and then it's game over. couldn't allow that. Can't take the piece, d5. He took on d5 with a pawn, I took with a rook. He must defend the knight on d7, which is being attacked, so I went queen c7. I went rook d1. There's also the option of just taking on f6 here. But I felt at the time that this was stronger. Maybe it's not. I haven't checked. Rook h7. Now I took an f6. And he went king e8. I think my idea was, and I have not checked this with computer, if it was king c8. I had many ideas. One of them is probably just queen f5. Threatening the rook. And also threatening knight e5. This looks devastating. Maybe even maybe possibly queen g6, I don't know. Queen e5 seems strong enough. But he went with the king to e8. And now queen g6. Threatening to pick up the rook, so the rook must interpose. And no, play it. To g5. And this is just devastation in the station. Took an f2. And I played the second best move here, king h1. When he simply resigned. And king f1 was better because now he can play maybe f1 queen. It's not mate, it's just about deflecting the rook from the d file. It's just postponing things because the rook is pinned. He plays knight takes e5, I play rook e5 check. And now you see why the rook is strong on the d file. Because of queen takes f7 mate. So he resigned the game after king h1. And I mean, okay game. I like that at one point I was sacrificing 2 pieces, but you know, I should do more of that. Just, you know, try and play for attacks in blitz games. Sometimes you care too much about the result and the rating. I do that, I know, but you shouldn't do that. Sometimes you need to detach yourself and just experiment, you know, trying to find more about yourself as a chess player. And I encourage you to do that. I hope you enjoyed this little game. See you later. Bye bye.